Happy New Year and welcome to the Brunswick Beat.
Brunswick County's only television news show brought to you by the Brunswick Beacon. I'm Stacy Manning.
And I'm Caroline Curran. Have you paid your 2011 property taxes yet? If not, you have until 5 p.m. Thursday, January 5th to pay taxes before interest begins to accrue. The tax office will honor postmarks for those who pay their taxes by mail. It will also honor the transaction date for credit card payments made online. The tax office will continue to offer its payment plans, which have been increasingly popular the last few years. More than 1,000 taxpayers and local businesses utilize the payment plans offered by the tax office. Tax office hours are 8:30 a.m. until 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. Their office is located in the County Administration Building at the County Complex in Bolivia. For more information, call 253-2729.
Brunswick County Commissioner Charles Warren has filed a police report again. This time, Warren, 67, of Oak Island, claims videos posted on YouTube were threatening. At press time Tuesday, there were 4 videos on YouTube about Warren, all of which were posted by user Brunswick1764. An investigation is ongoing. No charges have been filed. Warren's recent police report was the second report he has filed with the Sheriff's Office in a year. The Sheriff's Office previously investigated Warren's claim he was being racially harassed and discriminated against by sheriff's deputies and fellow commissioners. The allegations were deemed unfounded. That investigation cost county taxpayers more than $860.
Did a secret Santa visit Sea Trail last week? Newly elected Mayor Richard Serrato says apparently so, since potholes at Sea Trail construction entrance went from being in disrepair on December 27th to filled in December 28th. The Beacon stopped by the site in question on the morning of December 27th to shoot photos. At that time, the potholes at the entrance to Planters Ridge Drive from Old Georgetown Road were still in disrepair. At a specially called meeting December 21st, Serrato was cited by town council for telling Sea Trail residents the town would fix those potholes. Council members told Serrato the site in question is private property and therefore the town can't fix the potholes. Serrato said at the meeting if the town couldn't fix the holes, he would fix them himself.
The Carolina Shores Board of Commissioners is closer to finding a new commissioner to fill a board vacancy. At their first monthly pre-agenda meeting for 2012 on Tuesday, the board agreed to have a special meeting at 10 a.m. January 17th to narrow down the list of candidates and interview finalists. The seat, with 2 years remaining, was left vacant after former Town Commissioner Walter Goodenough was elected mayor. As of Tuesday, Town Administrator Mike Hargett said 9 people have applied. January 15th is the deadline. Hargett, speaking at Tuesday's hour-long workshop, said state law requires the selection process to be conducted in open session. Otherwise, there's little restriction on how it takes place. Board members informally agreed they would like to see the position filled prior to their upcoming retreat on February 6th so the new commissioner can participate.
Donations for Francis and Nathaniel Stevenson, a Longwood couple who lost everything in a devastating house fire last month, are being accepted at the State Employees Credit Union. Anyone interested in helping the Stevensons can make a donation in their name at the Charlotte State Employees Credit Union branch on US 17 across from Jones Ford. The Stevensons have a place to stay temporarily, but they are still in need of household items, a family member recently wrote to us here at the Beacon. Around 2 a.m. Tuesday, December 20th, a fire began in the Stevensons' home on Ward Road in Longwood. When fire crews arrived, the home was engulfed in flames. Everybody escaped the fire without any major injuries, and the fire appeared to have been caused by a heater. Brunswick County Commissioners have denied Health Director David Stanley's request for an additional animal control officer. The request came to county commissioners after members of the county's Board of Health unanimously approved recommending Stanley hire another animal control officer to prevent further service level reductions to the public. Stanley said his department was currently understaffed as a result of 2 animal control officer positions being deleted or frozen due to a reduction in force plan, bringing the animal control officer staff down to 5. Overtime costs are up due to the department being understaffed. Stanley said not filling the animal services position would jeopardize the service level residents have been accustomed to and, in some instances, their health and safety.
In a few more weeks, Lloyd Milliken plans to launch a new scallops processing facility at his longtime business and oyster house on Village Point Road. He says it should provide about 25 new local jobs. Overall, the new enterprise may create about 100 jobs during the next 6 months, including work in Florida. Milliken, owner of his family's 3-generation seafood business in Charlotte Point, said the oyster packing business has fallen off. He's investing his own money reaped from his 50-50 partnership in the Big M Casino Boat in Little River, South Carolina, to retrofit the oyster packing house. Read much more about these stories and more in this week's Brunswick Beacon, available on newsstands now.
Hey there, sports fans. Welcome to the Beacon Sports Report. All tournament selections, Gray Cheers and Taylor Buffkin helped lead the West Brunswick High School boys basketball team to a second-place finish in the 7th annual CMC Northeast Holiday Classic. The Trojans finished 2-1 and received a tournament trophy for the first time since winning a sectional title in 2003. Buffkin averaged 13.5 points a game. Cheers scored 17 points in the first game and 22 points in the second game. Last week, we brought you all conference selections from West Brunswick. Now we have selections for North and South Brunswick's football teams. Waccamaw Conference football coaches have selected 5 North players to the first team All-Conference and 6 players to the second team All-Conference. Tyler Hickey, a junior lineman, made 58 total tackles. 6 tackles were for a loss. He had 2 sacks. He recovered 1 fumble. Kaylin Rayner, a senior, made a team-leading 65 solo tackles and finished with 164 total tackles. He had 2 sacks. Matt Renning made 13 total tackles and intercepted 1 pass. Graham Rivenbark, a junior, made 38 solo tackles, the second most on the team. He finished with 78 total tackles, third most on the team. Jerron Smyer, a senior, gained 1,768 yards of the Scorpions' 2,624 yards this season, the second best individual rushing total in team history. He averaged 7.13 yards per carry. Waccamaw Conference coaches also selected 6 South Brunswick football players to their first team selections and another 6 to the second team selections. James Prince, a junior defensive lineman / tight end, made 68 tackles, 9 for losses. He made 4 sacks, caused 2 fumbles, and recovered 1 fumble. Jake Rockenbach, a senior offensive lineman, helped open the running lanes for all conference runners Greg Burton White and Gary Williams. Jakiri Smith, a junior linebacker and fullback, gained 184 yards on 26 carries. He made 89 tackles, 5 of them for losses. Nawan Watts, a senior quarterback, completed 81 of 163 passes for 1,405 yards and 5 touchdowns. Greg Burton White, a senior defensive running back and defensive back, gained 875 yards, second best on the team, on 120 carries. He made 55 tackles, 3 for losses, and intercepted 4 passes. Gary Williams gained a team best 1,535 yards on 130 carries. He averaged 11.81 yards per carry and 127.9 yards per game. Waccamaw Conference coaches have selected 2 North Brunswick volleyball players to its first team All-Conference and 2 other players to its second team All-Conference. The coaches selected 3 South Brunswick volleyball players to first team All-Conference and 3 second team All-Conference. For North Brunswick, Megan Spivey, a senior outside hitter, was first team All-Conference. She had 79 kills and 24 aces. Kelsey Sanders, a senior middle blocker, was first team All-Conference as well. She had 19 aces. For South Brunswick, Brooke Herr, a senior and first team selection, averaged a team best 4 aces per set. She also averaged 5.57 kills per set, the second best on the team. Mackenzie Jones, a senior and first team selection, averaged a team best 7.9 kills per set and a team best 1.71 blocks per set. Madison Walker, a senior first team selection, averaged a team best 12.76 assists per set and a team best 5.52 digs per set. You can read all these stories and, as always, see more great photos in this week's sports section.
Brunswick County Animal Shelter today with Sarah. She's a border collie. She's about 2 years old. She's had her shots, and she's looking for a brand new home. Her owner had not been able to care for her any longer, and so she's been here since November 28th. She's just a sweet, good girl. She's just here asking for somebody to please give her a good home. So come on over to the shelter and visit with Sarah. They're open to the public from 10 to 4, Mondays through Fridays, and there's all other dogs and cats here to visit with too.
The Brunswick Beacon turns 50 this year, and in celebration, each month we're going to be looking back. This week we reflect on the naming of the Beacon, its birth, and its previous owners. The first edition appeared under the name Shalote Press, dated Thursday, November 1st, 1962. It was 9 pages. Did you know that in 1962 an annual subscription only cost $2? Or that the Brunswick Beacon was almost named the Brunswick Tide? You can learn more about the Brunswick Beacon in this week's paper as we walk down memory lane. Times Square has its ball that fell on midnight this past New Year's weekend. Calabash, on the other hand, has its lighted anchor. That's what Calabash Mayor Mary Knight had to say about the boat anchor, wrapped in festive lights as it waited, suspended on a post, to be dropped at midnight during the town's first New Year's Eve celebration and bonfire next to the Calabash River last Saturday night. The event drew a crowd of residents stopping by to bask in the warmth of the bonfire set up in the Hurricane Fishing Fleet parking lot. There were fresh refreshments, party horns, and lots of fellowship basking in the bonfire warmth.
New York may have a ball, but Calabash has got its own anchor this year. People started to arrive at 6 o'clock this evening just to check out where the parking lot was, and they've come back for the fire. It's been a wonderful turnout. It's been cozy and warm and just the perfect way to celebrate New Year's on the coast.
Author Tom Reber loves a good mystery, especially when it involves his protagonist, Nick Thomas. The Brunswick County writer recently unveiled his second book and latest mystery, Devil's Parody, a thriller centered around Reber's main character, Thomas, as he goes face-to-face with a reclusive sociopath in the remote Vermont woods, where he is conducting a deadly experiment into the gambler's mind, according to promotional material about the book. Copies of Reber's books are available on his website, nickthomasmysteries.com, and in local bookstores. Brunswick's first baby of the new year has arrived. The Women's Center at Brunswick Novant Medical Center welcomed Robert Atkins at 4:20 p.m. Monday, January 2nd. He weighed 8 pounds 5 ounces and measured 21 inches long. He is pictured with proud mom Melanie McLean of Southport.
There's a place in Shalote where no appointments are necessary. You just walk in. Evans Barbershop has been around town for more than 50 years. It's a family tradition for Buddy Evans, who followed in his father's footsteps to become a barber, and now his stepson, Eric Varnum, is following in his footsteps. The two work side by side in the barbershop that's open 6 days a week at 7:30 a.m. Customers not only get a trim and a shave, but they can get free advice and catch up on the town gossip. For more on Evans Barbershop, pick up the Towns page of this week's Beacon. That's all the time we have for tonight, but you can read all these stories and much more in this week's Beacon. If you have comments or suggestions for us here at the Brunswick Beat, you can email us at brunswickbeat@brunswickbeacon.com. Don't forget to follow the Beacon on Facebook and Twitter. Just search for the Brunswick Beacon.
Thank you for joining us, and don't forget to tune in next week for a brand new edition of Brunswick Beat, Brunswick County's only television news show. We close out this week's show with images of Calabash's New Year's Eve bash.